Hey Staten Island, this is HealthWish, a conversation about the state of healthcare in the fabulous 5th borough. Our aim is to raise issues, raise awareness, and raise health. Because when we raise health, we raise everyone. Hey Staten Island, put on your favorite team jersey and join us at Ralph's Sports Bar Restaurant, a neighborhood favorite at Richmond Road and Four Corners Road. We're chatting with the restaurant's namesake owner, Mr. Ralph Tafuri, whose career in hospitality included stints at the Metropolitan Opera, Carnegie Hall, Rockefeller Center, and other elite venues. And if that's not impressive enough, Ralph was Luciano Pavarotti's chosen maître d' when the opera legend would perform in New York. Give a listen.
Today we're here at Ralph's Sports Bar, one of the newest additions to the restaurant community here on Staten Island. Join me as we speak to one of the owners, Ralph Tafuri, and hear how he and his family have embraced the spirit of teamwork and giving back. I'm Jamie Lynn Homan, and this is HealthWish. Well, hi Ralph. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your bar. I really feel like this is a hometown bar. It's so comfortable in here, and I'm looking around, I'm seeing all the hats and the jerseys and everything. So tell me about them. Where'd they come from?
Oh, thanks, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. This is definitely a community-driven establishment. When we first joined this place, I looked at it and it had so much raw, beautiful brick and the tiles, and I thought that it needed some home type of feel to it. So I just had a couple of jerseys, and some people were mentioning, oh, let's buy this and let's get that, and I was like, absolutely not. In order for us to make it feel like home, people have to bring things from their home to give it to us. So when they come in, it feels like their living room as well. And it started off as just a couple of friends bringing their jerseys to people that have come in once and said, I have to bring my son's jersey. And from Little League to high school sports to some people bringing their college jerseys. And we're really excited about sharing our space with the community. And I think that's something that makes us different. And I love having that feel in the restaurant, making people feel comfortable.
I love that, and I love that actually you have younger people bringing in their jerseys too. I think that's great that they can see themselves here. So you didn't always own a restaurant, but you did have a long history in the hospitality industry. So let's start at the beginning. You went to school in New York.
I went to New York City Tech, majored in hotel and restaurant management. While I was going for my bachelor's, a friend of mine called me. He worked in the cafeteria at the Metropolitan Opera House. And I had background from working in a liquor store and was offered an opportunity for an interview. And by the end of the interview, I was offered a position as the closing beverage manager. It was the launch of a great career for me, and it definitely exceeded expectations as far as what I thought that my job would be or my career would be in the hospitality industry.
Yeah, that had to be really great training, and it's really exciting. So tell me about your experience while you were the beverage manager.
So being the beverage manager, besides being responsible for over $60,000 worth of alcohol, I was given the opportunity to travel to California, do wine tastings all over the city, was trained by some great sommeliers. Andrea Immer, who was one of the first female sommeliers in New York City, worked as the beverage manager for the entire company of Restaurant Associates. And I was really like a sponge. Wherever I went, I just tried to learn and absorb as many best practices as possible, which was really an amazing thing. And I quickly was able to do a lot of other fun stuff. I'm fluent in Italian, so I was fortunate enough to work for, or be the maitre d' for Luciano Pavarotti, do a lot of green room stuff and Plaza Domingo, and amazing, turning the restaurant into a gala event in certain acts. La Traviata's first act is 28 minutes. We had to break down a restaurant and reset it. It was incredibly exciting. That would launch my, I guess my second part of my career with performing arts, where I went to Avery Fisher Hall, became general manager of that operation. I came back as a regional director and managed all performing arts in the area, including Carnegie Hall, some museums, Intrepid, Brooklyn Museum, Liberty Science Center, and really launched my passion that I've always had, but to see incredible chefs and do James Beard events, work at Rockefeller Center, and really it was an on-the-job training from day one. And I'm still learning every day.
You've done so many different things.
Yeah.
You really had, when I say that you had a career in hospitality, you certainly had a career. Yeah. And then I know you moved on to Compass Group. You were doing catering events, as you mentioned, for American Express, for Pfizer. So you definitely have worked with large groups of people. Tell me about it.
So Compass Group bought Restaurant Associates. That was one of the companies that they acquired. So I was fortunate enough to work at American Express for about 10 years, which was exciting. It was right after 9/11 when it was rebuilt. So it was a new facility. We fed 7,000 people a day. I was responsible for all food and beverage in the building. We had an amazing team. And that launched a great catering opportunity for us because we were able to book a lot of events in that space. We did that for about 10 years and then moved to Pfizer World Headquarters on 42nd. You know, we had to exceed expectations on a daily basis. And I enjoy that type of pressure. I'm passionate about what I do. You know, I get that from my mom and my dad. My mom still works with us in the kitchen. I say work, but, you know, we get her in here. She's the best type of associate, you know, incredibly knowledgeable, passionate, and I don't get to pay her, which is extremely great on every end.
Well, you just mentioned your mom, so let's talk about that because your restaurant's actually a family affair. I know your sisters are involved as partners. Your mom, like you said, helps in the kitchen. So your menu has, you know, regular bar food, but it also has items that are from your mom, like rice balls and tiramisu. So tell me about those.
So I'm lucky enough. My mom recently moved basically right down the block. My sisters live in the area, and I live in New Dorp. So we're all literally minutes away. And that was a big part of this decision when I was given the opportunity to get a package from leaving Compass Group. I left right before COVID. So I probably was real lucky on doing that. And having my mother right down the block makes me feel extremely happy, which is exciting.
Absolutely.
Probably drives a lot of people crazy.
So does she actually make the rice bowls?
Oh yeah, she's in the kitchen right now, prepping to make them.
Amazing.
We make everything in small batches. So from our homemade mozzarella sticks to our tiramisu to whatever we make, nothing is made in bulk. And it's a key factor in quality control as far as I'm concerned. You know, we're not a factory. We're a small, community-driven establishment that thrives on quality, comfort, and being comfortable in your own seat wherever you're sitting, and it's not bar food, let's say. And the back of our card says like no other, and it's for a reason that we put that.
I can definitely attest to that. Your food is different. Even if it looks like normal bar food, it is definitely not normal bar food.
Thank you.
It's excellent. It adds to the hometown feel for sure that you have your mom helping you cook in the back in small batches. And speaking of the hometown feel, you picked this location. Was there a reason specifically why here?
So I've traveled for a very long time. Besides being in Manhattan, I worked at Kentucky Derby. I was stadium operations manager at US Open, and moving back and forth all over the place. I was excited about getting a restaurant close to home. So we looked at a couple of different spaces, but my sisters mentioned this place that used to be Carol's Cuisine forever, and she's a great culinary story too. She was definitely a culinary visionary. When I was doing my rounds, instantly we moved forward on making this a dream come to become a reality.
Definitely. I'm a Staten Island native myself, so I love that there's a history here and that you're picking it up and you're continuing that. So that's really, really great. You did open during the pandemic, pretty much smack in the middle of it, September 2020. It's kind of when we thought that things were getting back to normal and then everything shut down again. So you had to pivot, right? And how did you handle all of that?
So I left my company in September of 19, and we signed the paperwork for this place in February of 20. And we never got to open until September. And we were very lucky. We opened and we were packed by day one. And between friends and just people coming, it's a great location. But what happened was we were starting to get a lot of catering opportunities for Christmas and the holidays, and then it shut down again. So we were only open for a couple of months, I would say maybe 3 months. And then it closed December 18th. And that was for a while. And we were nervous. We didn't get any relief because we didn't have any history. So it's not like we could have applied for any type of benefits. But we were definitely in for the long run. We're very lucky. It's paid off, even though COVID took a second turn. And we made it through that as well.
You
and
did.
We're excited about better days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving forward, and speaking of getting through, not only did you get through, but you decided that you were also going to give back. And so I really want to talk about that because you decided, you reached out to us and you made a gift of $4,000 to the community health team at Staten Island University Hospital. And we are so, so grateful for that because we were able to use that to help our initiative to provide hats and gloves to the community that was in need. We funded our Clementine project so that we could get healthy foods to underserved communities on Staten Island. So it's all because of your generosity. But the funny thing is that usually people reach out because of, you know, the care they received or they're a patient, and you don't have that background. So I want to know what fueled your generosity.
So I'm very fortunate. Giving back is definitely a core element in my lifestyle and part of our mission statement here at the restaurant. And doing the right thing, you know, we give back to different CYO organizations, schools, and we wanted to do something a little bit more. And I was lucky enough to get an investor, and Nikki and I were talking about how can we do something special. And I says, well, I know of 3 organizations, you know, the hospital, who's gone through so much, the fire department and the police department. So I knew the fire department and police department. A guest at the restaurant talked to me about, oh, I know somebody. And then it turns out that it was a friend of mine, Frank, that I've known for a long time, that gave us introduction to key people in the hospital. And to me, it was a no-brainer. What's more important is doing what's right and giving back and making sure that people understand that it is part of the community. We are part of the community. We're here. And we want to be here for a long time. We want to support what's right and make sure everyone enjoys it and give whatever we can back to.
Well, it's such a beautiful sentiment to think that, you know, it's not really about us and making money, it's about what we can do to give back. And that's such a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So rare to find, and we really, really appreciate that you were so generous to us. You even gave gift cards to our staff members who are working through the pandemic so that they can come visit you too. So we really love that. And I appreciate you welcoming us into your bar, Ralph's Sports Bar. And it feels like Cheers in here. You know, it's where everybody knows your name, where everyone's gonna know you and welcome you in. So thank you for welcoming us in. And
it was
for
a pleasure
everything
speaking
you've
to you.
done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
HealthWish wishes to thank our special guest, Mr. Ralph Tafuri, owner of Ralph's Sports Bar Restaurant. For Ralph's menu and specials, visit them on Facebook at Ralph's Sports Bar SI. That's all one word, Ralph's Sports Bar SI. Thank you for watching HealthWish. We hope to see you again soon.